Alright y'all, it is like 90 plus degrees out here. That's why I'm in a sleeveless tee. So enjoy your look while you can. But in this video, I'm going to be going over why you can't board slide. So this is going to be for the backside board slide. It's basically like doing a frontside 180 a little bit, but you're only going 90 degrees. But I'm going to be going over all the common mistakes that pretty much happen with board slides and help you guys start to board slide, because it is really not that hard of a trick and you can pretty much try these right after ollies. So I hope this helps you guys. Let's get right into it. Okay, so quick disclaimer y'all, if I look like a sweaty mess, it's because I mainly film on B-roll clips before actually going into the talking portions. Plus, like I said, it's 90 plus degrees outside and I'm wearing a gray shirt. So before I get started, if you want to see more videos like this and trick tips, make sure you subscribe and also turn on those post notifications so you can be notified when I upload new videos. And if you might have noticed, I'm wearing a helmet. And seriously, that's one of the things with the first common mistake, is a lot of people are like scared for the trick. So the only way to kind of deal with the fear is just making sure you feel more safe. So you can wear a helmet. You wear elbow pads, knee pads, whatever you need to help you get more confident. The next thing is when you're board sliding, you don't want to start off doing the whole rail because you can lose your balance all the way through. You actually want to do the board slide more near the edge. So I say, like, when you're first learning, just nick them. Don't worry what people say, because you know it's a learning process. I'll show you just what nicking it looks like. So wait till I'm near the edge of the rail and just nick it. So I definitely recommend not trying, you know, a whole bunch of the rail. Like, I just recommend, you know, nicking it and then working your way further back all the way till you can do the whole rail. Also, I'm realizing if I sound out of breath, I'm sorry, it's just really hot out here. So the next common mistake is that people say they can't slide even though they're hitting the rail. So I think the main tip for this is just really practicing to get the center of your board on the rail. So my mic cut out here, but basically what I was saying is that you want to get on the center of the rail, because you see my trucks are going too far to one side. That's how it kind of stops it. So you want to work on getting the center of the board on the rail, because you can see you can balance it like this right on the rail, and you want to put your feet kind of near the bolts so it doesn't really, you know, go too far one way or the other. So really just work on getting, you know, focusing on getting the center of your board onto the rail. One way you can do this is, like, don't try to pop onto the rail too far away. So like if I'm all the way over here, let's say like I'm right here, if I try to pop on the rail, I'm mainly gonna get, you know, only that side on it. So you actually want to be pretty close to it. So it's really just all experimenting with it. You just have to, you know, find a way that works best for you to get the center of your board on the rail. So one thing you can actually do is just stand here. Actually, you can do it stationary. Don't be too afraid of slipping. I would say maybe even go near the edge if you're afraid of slipping. But most of the times you can pop on the rail and actually hold the slide. No. Well, like I was saying, you can actually like stand near the rail and actually hold the slide. So like really work on getting the center of your board over the center of the rail. You can almost, you know, hold it like that. And you can like jump off really quick if you get too scared. So I would say this is like the first step, because, you know, it's gonna be hard to hop on it while moving, even if you like don't know how it's gonna feel like. But just standing still and really trying to work over that fear of just, you know, getting over the center of the rail with the center of your board. Also, another thing to keep in mind when doing this trick, you want to have your feet in a wide stance. I would say practice trying to land with your feet on the bolts when you get on the rail, because that is the only way you can really keep it stable. Because if you have your feet together, you're going to be unstable, you might slip, or if you're on one side, you're going to push it over. So really just work on trying to get your feet, you know, in a really wide stance. One thing that helps me is like do the same ollie position, but try to have your front foot right under the bolts, right? Because when you slide, you pretty much don't have to move it that much to get it on the bolts. And then all you have to do really when popping is just try to, you know, shift your back foot over to get on there. So one thing you can do is just like work on turning 90 degrees and then landing you know, on the bolts when you're trying to ollie. It doesn't really have to be a real ollie, you're just kind of popping and turning. So you see how I land on the bolts? Try to do that. So I'm gonna do a quick demonstration where, you know, I get right onto the rail. I'm gonna get pretty close to jump on it, and I'm gonna try to stay centered over the rail by getting the center of my board on the rail. So before I go into the next step, you can actually come out of the board slide two ways. You can go to regular, or you can go to fakie. And basically the only difference is going to fakie, you just have to really turn your shoulders while you're doing the board slide in the same direction that you got on the rail. Otherwise, if you want to come out to regular, you're just like twisting your shoulders back into your normal position. So now the second most common mistake that happens is a lot of people, when they try this, they end up slipping out. Either like they lean too far forward and the board goes behind them and they just like, you know, slip out that way. Or the most common one, people lean back and they shoot the board outwards. So the only way to fix this is just like, you really have to focus on doing the opposite of what's happening the most. So if you're leaning back, right, and you know, you're kind of shooting it out, try leaning more forward so you can, you know, trick yourself into standing pretty much straight up. Now if you're leaning, you know, straight forward, lean a little bit back. Don't lean too far back, just like lean far enough back where it makes you stand straight up and almost like tricks your mind into doing that. If anything, make sure you lean a little bit forward, because that's like, I guess, the most stable way to get on the rail. But over time, you really just want to be able to, you know, get on the rail and just stand straight up while you're on there. You don't want to like lean too far one way or the other. Also, another reason you may be slipping out is actually because, you know, you might have over waxed the rail. Now, it's fine to use wax on rails, but I think mostly the key to actually getting a good slide is going faster, because if you go too slow, you know, you don't have any momentum to keep going forward, because you're gonna, you know, hit this and that stops your momentum slightly. So you want to go pretty fast. You don't have to go super fast, but, you know, just make sure to either go faster or slightly wax the rail. You don't want to over wax it, because that's how bad things happen, because I had that happen in California and I took a mean slam. But it wasn't even me over waxing it, it was someone else. So that's pretty much it for the board slide. I'm trying to think of other tips, but I'm going to show you just like from different angles how you should get on the rail, and just kind of re-emphasize the other tips I gave. Like, I'll show you how close I actually get to the rail before getting on. I'll do a short one and then a long one. So you really want to make sure you get the center of your board on the rail, because that's what keeps you balanced. Keep your feet wide, stand straight up if anything, lean forward, and then really just work on how you come out. I'm going to do about maybe like a quarter of the rail or something. So I'm actually going to get pretty close to it, right? And then you can see I got the center of my board on the rail. Same thing. Pretty much, you know, just making sure you can get close to the rail, center your board over the rail, stand straight up and lean forward. And then now I'll do the full rail. I'll actually go to fakie. Oh man. Hope I didn't get a butt shot. But yeah, so pretty much just the same concept. Just over time, you're gonna have to work on holding your balance more and just really getting comfortable on the rail. Like I said, you know, start near the end of the rail and just work your way back on how far you on the rail. Now, another thing I kind of want to go over, since I was kind of thinking of it when I was going on the rail, you don't want to come at too harsh of an angle, because that's how you get the back of your truck on the rail. So let's say like I'm trying to board slide, but I'm coming at like this angle. Like, it can still work, but it's just, you know, it's kind of ugly and it doesn't work the best. It doesn't, you know, feel proper. I would say go at a slight angle if you can't, like, you know, just get parallel with it. So I'll like do like a slow roll up, and I'll flip the video so you can see regular and goofy. So like slow roll up, I'll just come up at this much of an angle, right? You know, it's just a slight angle, it's nothing too harsh. Rolling up, just a slight angle, turning on, then doing it. Rolling up, just a slight angle, turning on, then doing it. And I think the last tip I'm going to give on this is, I think this trick is more in your shoulders than actually in your, you know, your waist, because if you open your shoulders up, your waist is naturally going to open up. But if you open your waist up first, your shoulders may not always follow through, and then that might cause you to lose your balance. So really make sure, you know, when you get on, you're kind of winding up a little bit, then you open your shoulders when you actually get on to the rail. Because your goal is to like open your shoulders so you can actually face the direction that you're sliding. You don't want to be like, you know, angled while you're on it. You want to be completely looking in the direction that you're sliding, right? So I'm going to do an attempt and really just look at my shoulders and how I open my shoulders all the way up, so I'm actually facing the camera pretty much. So I open my shoulders. And I turn back. It's kind of ugly that way, but you get the point. It's like open my shoulders. Do that. Alright y'all, so that's pretty much gonna wrap it up for why you can't board slide, common mistakes explained. I hope that helps. There's not many tips to really go into the board slide. It's just those kind of small tips, but it's really all about commitment and how comfortable you are on the board when you're actually jumping onto the rail. So if you have any other questions about this trick, make sure you leave it down in the comments below so I can answer them. Also, if you want to learn how to frontside board slide, I actually already have a trick tip on that, so click the card in the top right corner if you want to see that video. Otherwise, thank you so much. We're so close to 40,000 subscribers, guys. That is just ridiculous. At 50,000 subscribers, I'm having another giveaway and it's going to be big, so make sure you subscribe. Otherwise, thank you guys so much. Peace.